Hi, my name is Angela Bacon-Grimm. Welcome back to my channel. And today is part 2 of a 2-part video series about how to prepare for your first book signing. So I will link part 1 in the box below. And part 1 was about items to bring, and this second part is about other ways that you can prepare. So one of the first ways that you can prepare is by thinking about the most concise way that you can describe your book. So the experts will tell you that ideally this would be one sentence. Personally, I have a really hard time getting the description of each of my books down to just one sentence. So I would say max no more than 3 or 4 sentences, but the more concise the better. So for example, the way that I describe my first book, Illegally Innocent, is that it is a suspense novel. The main character is a bioenergetic practitioner, so she's like a doctor, except she practices alternative medicine. And in the book, the government bans alternative medicine, so she has to figure out how to smuggle in herbs and supplements in order to continue her business. So try to keep it short like that, or even shorter is better. The second thing that you will want to do to prepare for your book signing is, if you are not having it at a bookstore or some other store that will be taking all of the payment for you, you will want to practice with your Square or your other method of taking credit and debit cards. I talked about a Square in the first video. It's super easy to use, but you will want to try it at least once before your event, just so that you understand how it works and that you're not thrown off guard when you're trying to scan strangers' cards. Another thing that you will want to practice is your display setup. So anything that you're taking tablecloths, make sure that you have enough tablecloths to cover the space that you will have, and enough tables, of course, too. Make sure that you have enough displays and other stands for your books. Think about the size of your spot, like how big of a spot you're going to have. Maybe it's going to be 10 feet long, maybe it's only going to be 3 feet long. Think about how you can either maximize or minimize your book displays and still have your spot look really good. You will also, and I mentioned this in the first video a little bit when I talked about getting tablecloths that match your books, but you will want to have other things match too. So for example, I usually try to color coordinate my outfit with my books. So the main colors of my books are black and white. So I usually wear primarily black, sometimes black and white, just so that my whole table and everything looks like it goes together. And this goes along with the concept of branding, which I'm not going to get into a lot here, but if you'd like to know more about branding, I suggest you check out Pam Perry. I will put some links to her social media in the description box below. And she actually is someone I learned a lot from a few years ago at a writing conference that I attended. You will also want to make sure that you have a sales tax license. Again, this is not necessary if you are having your event at a bookstore or somewhere else that will be collecting the sales tax for you. But if you are doing a craft show or some other sort of event where you are collecting the money yourself, you need to be collecting sales tax. And in order to legally collect sales tax, you need to have a sales tax license. So you can just visit the website of your state, and there will be links on there for how you can get a sales tax license. You will also want to write down your mileage before and after your trip, because that is a tax write-off. So it's very important to keep track of anything and everything that can be a tax write-off when you have your own business. Also, you will want to plan out how you are going to sign other people's books. So you can just sign your name, and that's totally fine. A lot of authors will write some sort of catchphrase. Maybe, for example, it could be like happy reading or God bless or something like that. Just think about ahead of time what you're going to write, and then you won't kind of freeze up when you are signing people's books. And the last thing for you to plan for at your book signing is think about what types of questions people are going to ask you. For example, like I talked about earlier, people are definitely going to ask you what your book is about, so have a prepared short answer for that. Other questions you might get include what inspired you to write this? How did you start writing? What company did you publish with? Especially if you self-published, people like to know, because a lot of people are interested in writing books and they want to know how you did it. They might ask you if the main character is based on you. You can get all sorts of questions. So think about the most likely questions, write them down, think about some answers to those, and you may even want to ask a couple of your family members and friends to get their feedback on those things as well, because the more prepared you are, the smoother and more comfortable you're going to feel at your first event. So good luck with your first event, and I will see you on my channel again soon. Thanks for watching.